up on WTOL 11. A winter storm is inbound as Lucas County and surrounding counties are expected to receive heavy snow. What you need to know to stay safe and prepared. Plus, game day wings for just cents and a Christmas village packed with shoppers. Two big crowds, one big Saturday across Northwest Ohio. And a deadly D.C. shooting prompts the White House to halt all asylum decisions nationwide. Plus, the Secretary of State prepares to meet with Ukrainian officials this weekend. Well, welcome into WTOL 11 News here on Plus. I'm Michael Sanwin. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll get to all of those top stories and more in just a moment, but first, our weather team is tracking a significant winter storm that has arrived. Meteorologist John Birchfield joins us. John, with alert days in effect this weekend, what should people be prepared for? When is this really going to take effect?
Well, Michael, the snow's really starting to pile up, and it's going to be between about 6 p.m. now to midnight that I think the heaviest snow is going to be poised to strike the area. There's going to be some significant travel impacts continuing through Sunday morning, and you'll wake up likely to a 4 to 6 inch snowfall total with the potential for more northwest of the metro. There is a winter storm warning for Lucas County. That bright pink color, that indicates the winter storm warnings where the snow is going to be the highest. South and east of the Maumee River winter weather advisory criteria, which is to say it's still going to be snowy, it's still going to be slippery, but not quite as much in terms of accumulation. Doppler radar lit up with blue. Just about everybody now is seeing snow, and those darker hues of blue across the metro show you where the snow is starting to pick up and accumulate quickly. Into Lucas and Wood counties, I am noticing some heavier bands of snow in western Lucas County. Areas like Monclova Township and Swanton down towards Bowling Green are starting to see some heavier snow with conditions deteriorating. Back towards the state line, there's also some heavy snow moving into Williams and Hillsdale counties, shown by those darker shades of blue. A strong area of low pressure impacting a number of the Great Lakes states, and the hour by hour does show you that steady snow continuing. Midnight, snow is still coming down. Much of the night is going to be filled with snow. However, by daybreak, temperatures are going to climb to about 36. There could be a brief transition to some raindrops, so that would be a good time to shovel the snow right around daybreak tomorrow, before temperatures drop as those showers turn to a few flakes into the afternoon. I've got the latest snowfall map and also a look at a cold start to December coming up.
John, we'll see you then. And with Northwest Ohio gearing up for the season's first meaningful snowfall of the season, we're checking in with snowplow crews as they prepare for tonight. Dominique O'Neill joins us in studio. Dom, you actually got to do a ride along today.
That's right, Michael. I spent time with the City of Toledo's Snow Angels, a group that shovels snow for the elderly and people with disabilities. They tell me with this winter set to bring in more snow, they're ready to get back to work. Earlier today, I spoke with the owner of Deluxe Lawn and Landscaping, John Enderlin, who volunteers with the Snow Angels. He tells me he clears driveways and sidewalks for the city. And then he hops in his own plow on the side, clearing out private parking lots. He says after years of limited snow, a major storm can make a big financial difference in his life, and it keeps him active.
The lack of snow the last few years, big storms like this definitely help keeps us working, keeps the trucks on the road, and keeps us in business.
And John expects to clear dozens of driveways and sidewalks once the snow starts falling, and says crews will be out as long as needed to keep people safe. We reached out to get updates from the city's roadway plow crews as well. So far, we have yet to hear back. Reporting in studio, Dominique O'Neill, WTOL 11.
All right, thank you, Dom. Schmucker's Restaurant is set to reopen its doors next week. The restaurant is expected to reopen on Wednesday, December 3rd at 6 a.m., according to the restaurant's Facebook. Schmucker's was forced to shut down for 3 months after a hood fire, but Schmucker's nostalgic charm is still there with the same chrome stools from when it opened in 1948, including a phone booth and staff. For a big game like Michigan and Ohio State, you need fuel. And this morning, Southside 6 in Bowling Green had fans covered. A Mediterranean staple in town, the restaurant ran a huge game day special, chicken wings for only 19 cents. Owners at Southside 6 say they do this every year for the Super Bowl. But now, for the second year in a row, they're starting a new tradition with the rivalry game. And not only were they running a big deal inside, outside they were collecting donations for local food banks while keeping the rivalry going to see which boxes would be filled first.
Ohio State and Michigan, what better way to celebrate with 19-cent swings? There it is. We've been here since '92, so we've been part of the community for a long time. So I'm a firm believer too, if you take something out of the community, put something back in. So I hope this is my little contribution.
The owner said this morning they expected to sell 27,000 wings by the end of the day. Well, one Northwest Ohio town is celebrating Christmas a little early. Pemberville's Christmas in the Village is happening this weekend. Guests have a chance to take photos with Santa, Mrs. Claus, and even Ebenezer Scrooge. It's also an opportunity to get some holiday shopping done while supporting small businesses. Stores on Front Street are going to stay open so shoppers can knock out some of their holiday shopping as Christmas music fills the town. Business owners are expecting more than 2,000 people to stop by this weekend.
Well, of course, as a brick and mortar store, along with the other stores and markets here in Pemberville, of course, we need folks to support, and so we're very appreciative. It's a great way to kind of kick off the holiday season.
Christmas in the Village continues tomorrow at noon until 6. The tree lighting ceremony and the lighted parade are both tomorrow evening. The Trump administration is pausing all asylum decisions in the wake of the shooting of 2 members of the National Guard earlier this week. This comes as Secretary of State Marco Rubio prepares to meet with Ukrainian officials in Florida this weekend in an effort to bring the war between Russia and Ukraine to an end.
In the wake of the shooting of 2 members of the National Guard in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday, the Trump administration is directing the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services to pause all asylum decisions. The president posted on Truth Social he will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the U.S. system to fully recover. The announcement comes after the president repeatedly criticized the Biden administration's immigration policies.
There's a problem because so many bad ones came in on the planes. They just walked in. Whoever the strongest people were physically in a way, but whoever the strongest, they got on the planes. There was no checking.
The suspected gunman has been identified as Rahmanullah Lakanwal, an Afghan national living in Washington state. He served alongside U.S. troops in Afghanistan and was allowed to move to the U.S. in 2021 through a Biden-era program called Operation Allies Welcome. The changes to the nation's asylum policy came as West Virginia residents gathered to mourn the death of National Guard specialist Sarah Beckstrom, who was killed.
Nothing but caring, loving, willing to help somebody, anything out of her way to help somebody get through it.
In another White House development, CBS News has learned that Secretary of State Marco Rubio and other U.S. delegates will meet with Ukrainian officials here in Florida on Sunday.
The meeting comes in the wake of a deadly Russian attack on the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, on Saturday. President Trump had previously hoped to hammer out a deal to bring Russia's war with Ukraine to an end by Thanksgiving. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
The death toll in Gaza has now surpassed 70,000 people, according to the Palestinian Ministry of Health, as emergency workers continue recovering bodies. More than 600 bodies have been recovered from the rubble since the ceasefire went into effect 6 weeks ago, according to the ministry. Gaza's civil defense has estimated that some 10,000 Palestinians have still not been recovered and identified. Authorities in Gaza do not distinguish between civilians and Hamas fighters when reporting casualty figures. Additionally, Israel does not dispute that a significant number of Palestinian civilians have been killed in its war in Gaza. But it has long argued that figures from the health ministry are exaggerated and that Hamas uses civilians as, quote, human shields.
Hi, I'm Jeff Smith. Coming up on the next Leading Edge, we tip it off with Toledo's own Glass City Wranglers. The city's basketball franchise is looking to build what the Mud Hens and Walleye already have. The executive director and assistant coach discussed the mission, the culture, and the devotion to our city.
We're from the 419 area. I bleed Toledo, from east side, shout out to my 05ers over there. We're just, and I think if you're connected to the community connects back to you.
Leading Edge drops Sunday on all WTOL 11 platforms, including the Leading Edge podcast on Spotify and Apple.
Well, we've been telling you about it all show. A massive winter storm is crippling travel across the Midwest just as millions of people return home following the Thanksgiving holiday. More than 20 million people are under winter storm warnings. Hundreds of flights have been canceled as of Saturday at 10 a.m. Jen Sullivan has the latest on how this storm is impacting the nation.
Crews in St. Louis out treating the roads as a massive winter storm slams the Midwest. Cars blanketed in snow.
Still snowing pretty good up here.
this St. Louisan showing just how slushy and treacherous the roads are even after being treated.
Right now, we're fighting the storm.
City officials say more than 30 crews were out Saturday clearing the streets and highways.
This is a very unusually early snow.
St. Louis could see up to 4 inches of snow by Sunday. About 95 miles north in Springfield, Illinois, a snow emergency was declared.
Oh my God.
More than 20 million people across the northern tier are under winter storm warning Saturday. Chicago could see up to 10 inches of snow. As of 4 p.m. Eastern, more than 1,000 flights at Chicago O'Hare International Airport were canceled Saturday, according to FlightAware. It's one of the busiest airports in the world. All of this coming during the post-Thanksgiving travel rush. AAA estimating nearly 82 million people to travel the week of Thanksgiving through Monday, with Sunday being one of the busiest days for the skies and roads. Drivers in many areas are being warned not to travel.
If there's a crash on the interstate and it closes lanes, sometimes that lasts for an hour, if not multiple hours.
It's not just the snow causing dangerous conditions in some areas. As temperatures dip and winds pick up, the next big concern is ice. Officials in Des Moines, Iowa say they've already responded to several crashes.
The road conditions are going to get very bad here very quickly.
This monster system expected to shift east Sunday, dumping snow and rain and causing more headaches for travelers. Jen Sullivan, WTOL 11 on Plus.
We're going to be feeling those winter storm impacts right here at home with the heaviest snow starting right now. The heaviest snow is likely to continue between now and midnight, and there's going to be some widespread 4 to 6 inch amounts with significant impacts to post-holiday travel on Sunday. Slick and slow travel conditions are expected tonight through Sunday morning as that alert day continues for the first half of the day tomorrow. Right now, Doppler radar is lit up in blue, and that shows you the steady, moderate snow that is coming on down. There's a winter storm warning for the Toledo Metro, where 4 to 6 plus inch amounts are expected. Further northwest up towards Williams and Hillsdale counties, amounts up to 8 inches are possible. I'm going to have the latest data and snowfall map coming up in just about 60 seconds. Winter weather advisory southeast of the river, where there will still be impacts felt, just not quite as much in terms of accumulation. I've noticed some of the steadiest snow is now moving east of I-75 towards Tiffin and Fremont, with those darker blue colors indicative of heavier bands of snow. Temperatures were above freezing briefly earlier, but we're down to 28 in Toledo, 27 in Bryan, 27 in Hillsdale. And with that drop in temperatures, the snow is going to begin sticking much more readily. Many Midwestern cities feeling the impacts. Lots of delays out of O'Hare and Chicago down towards St. Louis, a wintry mix, and into Indiana. The city of Indianapolis going to be feeling delays as well. Now check out just how widespread these winter storm warnings are, encompassing much of northwest Ohio, lower Michigan, back towards Indiana, Illinois, and the Great Plains. So the hour-by-hour forecast is going to show widespread snowfall continuing this evening. The heaviest snow likely to continue through midnight. There is going to be some lighter snow still after midnight, with a chance for a brief period of a wintry mix tomorrow morning. Temperatures are briefly going to climb to the mid-30s, so tomorrow morning may be your best bet for shoveling, as we do see a little bit of melting that occurs, and the salt's going to be working more effectively with those temperatures above freezing. Now we quickly drop into the afternoon as a cold front sweeps through the area, and that is going to create a gusty cold breeze into the afternoon. So how much snow can you expect? 4 to 6 inch amounts for the Toledo Metro. Far northwestern suburbs could see up to 7 inches. That purple color north and west, including the city of Bryan, Hillsdale, and Adrian, shows 6 to 8 inch amounts. Blue is 4 to 6, and 2 to 4 inches for some of our southeasternmost counties. So let's look at the impacts that you can expect into the day.